I did implemented half of this thingy here, but I don't think I want to release the video of how long it took me to do it. Not because it was particularly difficult, but it's weird. Let me tell you what it is about. So I have two ways of doing it now. With the circle or with the bounding box. And bounding box turns out to be kind of efficient, but kind of awkward at the same time. That's how it looks like. I have two screenshots to show a difference. The distant blocks get destroyed, annihilated pretty much. So they don't exist. Doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe something happens that I don't quite know about. But I thought I certainly checked everything. I mean, like, at this point. It's so hard to tell what's happening because the bubble thing is actually now more efficient. At least when it comes to cubes. The bubble thing is super efficient. But here, there's a glitch, the same glitch as well, where even bubble sorting, by the way, the bubble sort is a completely different thing. For me, I have to put objects and sort them, so I use bubbles to put objects in. But when I sort, I actually have to extend the bubble twice the size for whatever reason. Don't ask me. And then I clip it to the grid. I don't know why. I don't know why that's needed. Maybe I'm doing something wrong still. Potentially I'm doing something wrong. Because I floor this. Could this be the case? Am I just flooring something? Then this is +1 +1. Wait, what? No, the top one. If I truly floor this, and I'm not supposed to. Ah, yes. Ah, of course. When I do bounding box, I floor this and this like this. So some of the box gets cut like this and doesn't appear on the screen. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Do I have to scale it? Did I just figure it out finally? It took me hours. Fucking hours. Looks pretty okay. 100% okay? 100% okay? Holy shit! We did it, boys. Oh my god. That's good. Sometimes a fresh head just completely obliterates everything. The one thing that's failing right now is the organizing thing. And I've spent hours more to try and organize things back into 32 by 32. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So now there's a different kind of glitch, as you can tell, going on, because I see so many things. And also, want to reduce heat level just a little bit. I want to find that sweet spot of frames per second, because last time I ended the video with 30 frames per second, and that's kind of what I want to do right now as well. And I think it's fair to keep a little bit of silence until I release another video and do a little bit of work. Oh, this is so terrible. Why is this so bad? Holy fucking crap. This is really bad. I'm sure I made a mistake in some way. But I can't tell right now what that is. Why? Why would you do that? Why would sorting be so fucking crazy all of a sudden? Am I missing something? What if I just do 150 of those? Now there's so many numbers to actually adjust that I don't know, man. Just have to go in and out. But yeah, I think I have to keep my frustrations to myself. What? This actually helped. What are you talking about? That makes no fucking sense either. Of course it didn't help. Whoa, whoa, what the fuck is that? That's so pretty though. And high efficiency too. I just have to organize it properly. But the array's getting smaller and smaller each time. Maybe there's something I can do to have greater arrays and not use... Okay. What? Why? Why? That is madness. Why would this be so unstable? All of a sudden. But at the same time, super stable. This is 20 FPS right now. I want 30, but 20's close. I want 30 though. I don't get it. Because if I go back to this method, maybe there's something happened with the resolution thing. So I could still check with this. Probably makes sense a little bit. I've made one major change. What? Major change my ass. I just broke the damn thing. Ouch. It still looks good though, which is the most ridiculous part about it. Still looks like a terrain. Thank you very much. Why did this broke so badly? Was that good enough to break? This. Just doing this. Which makes no sense. Is resolution a float? Please, it's a float, right? Yes, it is. It's divisible. in case something terrible happens. I mean, now it works. So I'm not sure exactly how that got in the way. But it could get in the way of the other one as well. Yeah, it does have flickering. Okay, this one gives us 18 frames per second, which is pretty good. So yeah, I'll probably figure this out. It's probably best to keep everything in the background. I love complaining, but oh man, do I not love complaining at the same time? That's the prettiness of complaining. It makes me confused. Yeah, if like anyone would ever in a million years, that's what I'm rolling for. If someone in a million years clicks on my video and they suck in that complainment, they actually know what to do about it. Wow. A miracle happens. Probably will not happen the whole way through though. So what's the point if I get a miracle? Miracle view. Anyways. It's even hard to tell what that is if what I just said is a complainment that people don't care about me. So I'm not getting my miracle views. Wah. No, life is fucking weird and difficult, and you have to program your life. For some reason, it's unfinished version. It's probably unfinished version because you are you, and that's the worst part about life. You're not God. You are you. You're a human being. I'm sorry. Have to fix your life. Fix your life back to God level. Oh, what's death? Well, since Earth is flat, probably people are wrong about death as well. But that's let's keep the scariest stuff away at the moment, okay? I don't want to think about reality right now. I just want to think of how amazing it would be if I can't actually use grid size and I have to use resolution instead. Why would this break though? This previous version. I don't understand. Why though, man? If this doesn't break, then why then that one breaks? None of this makes fucking sense. But please, does that help? Of course it doesn't help. So I'm even more confused now. I have no idea. Ouch. That hurts, man. I just added +1. +1 and it breaks everything. +1, guys. Thanks. Well played. +1. Look at me. A genius. It's amazing. Oh, potentially what's going on. Potentially what's going on. These have to be bigger than each other. That's not true. They don't have to be bigger than each other. They can be exactly the same size, and that would be completely fine. Right. Doesn't mean it will fix anything. That's the cool part. I have still no idea what this means. Maybe I still do, but at the same time I don't. I just know that flooring this is a pretty bad idea. Even though I'm still handling it properly. So I'm not exactly sure why flooring this would be bad. You know, that sort of stuff where you thought you had something smart to say, but nope. Don't think I do. But it's, for some reason, it works now with one. Now what I'm talking about is, like, again, I try to visualize it, but it really shows when I do remove that +1 thingy. And that's all I need again, just that +1. And I do need it for some reason. And potentially I need it on the other one as well. When I don't do +1, you get this. You can feel there's something wrong about this, right? So 1 second. Yeah, it cuts a little bit from the top and the bottom. Constantly flickering. And specifically from the top and the bottom. And I didn't even pay attention to that until I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, I see. But that's still not good enough, I would say. Because despite this cutting from the top and the bottom, I don't know why. I still don't know why. I just know that it does. So potentially again I can use this the same way. The size doesn't change, but the way it uses the size, where it's stop cutting. Oh, now I remember. I need +1 because of the way for loops are being rated. Readed. Why can't I say readed though? English, please. Every single time I have the insecurity of the word read. It's the stupidest thing, dude. Readed. Oh. Look at you, buddy. You have some spasms too. And they're all happening simply because the array is just so small now. It kind of sucks. I think I want to try out like a 250. Is 250 nice? I think I have to like oh, what? What? Then I don't use it. Why would I do that? Holy shit, did I just do that this whole time? Well, not this whole time, it actually is different. Okay. Okay. So now it's a smaller size. I'm just hoping that it works. It doesn't work! And I think it's happening with that one as well. This one is a bubble sorter. Okay. If I get too close, we get ourselves a bizarre adventure. No, so it doesn't help that I reduce a rendering distance for the sake of I'm not sure if that would even help though. It should help. but I don't know if it would. I'm still learning, guys. Please bear with me. So we have to ignore whatever is going on, as bad as it seems. Because I have to run through more theories, basically. I have to do more work, and I still don't know how work is being done either. Like, how to exactly do the work when something terrible happens. You can still look at me as a young little shit. Because that's what I am. Anyways, one thing I wanted to test, if we are on the top position, I want to give myself a tree bark, which is here. It would be number, this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So number 20. And that means we can go there, okay. Is this really 16 though? Because I'm already using this and this is at 22. I don't know, man. What the hell? So plus, I think it has to be 21. So mesh ID is going to be 21. Nah, it is 22. I just changed it somewhere. Plus minus 1 here. Might as well not do that anymore. So it has to be 20. I just need to find the highest position. I still don't have no idea how to do it. Do I? Place block. Okay, so when the next position wouldn't work, so I'll just check, is this last block? And simply I'm checking if this plus 1 would not work. And so we're gonna check this. If this wouldn't work, but place block would work, then it's the last block. Okay, the last block does not exist, and then place block exists. So we're gonna have a special condition. If last block, then we're gonna pick up this wood, and then we're going to size it up a little bit. Specifically, and this is only possible with, again, the bounding box rendering, because I would have to resize the bubble as well. And resizing the bubble is a terrible idea. Yeah, I can't wait to be able to extend. I think I will be able to do a lot of things. I think all I have to do is just prepare a very shitty... It's almost like every glitch, rendering glitch, would be a part of the game almost. Because why not? You know, let's frustrate a bunch of people. Let's learn what that means. Sometimes you have to do things halfway just to frustrate a bunch of people. And just to actually make it to the finish line faster, but with a broken car, that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, you cut the track a bunch of times, and you frustrate the people who are running the entire race. It's like, well, you finished the race, but it doesn't mean that you're not disqualified, right? That's the coolest part, man. You gotta make that story happen. And be first for no matter what. You have to be first no matter what. That's the man. No visual this time. Embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. So vector 3x would be 3y would be let's say 15 times. What do you mean size? Size 1, okay. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Losers. I could actually shrink down the size if I wanted to. Okay. So if everything goes correctly, we're gonna have a bunch of trees appearing for no reason. Without leaves. Just big ol'... Oh my god, no. No! That's what you would fear the most. The mega tree. The omega lol tree. Yeah, nice try, Gornex. You can really render those tall ones. What is even happening? How do you explain this? This is just supposed to be a little bit of a size thingy. What's wrong? Ouch. Actually, it is weird, because most of them would show up anyways. I have to also randomize a little bit. Alright. Or are we gonna have too many trees, man? And that will start happening. So, random, maybe larger than... I think, no, let's do 1 in 150. No, let's 1 in 50. Still don't know that. Still don't know what I want. I'm still a loser in terms of level of programming, by the way, guys. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we have something going on. And that something looks terrible. You know why? You know exactly why. Because I haven't finished my goddamn thing. It's halfway. What am I even doing? Well, all I have to do is remove this line. And the show will begin. Because this is what, you know, checks if it's in the bubble. And I don't care if it's in the bubble anymore. It's way too tall to be in a bubble. Lol. Just give me the goddamn tree, dude. Here we go. Fuck yeah, dude. Finally. Oh, that is so refreshing, goddammit. That feels so refreshing. Oh man. Obviously they stop rendering at some point. 'Cause I'm scared. That's why. Wow. I love that. We have some nice trees. Spinning around as well, obviously. Ah. I bet you can't do that. I'm not even gonna try on the bubble thingy. I just have to replace this as well now. Forget about this stuff. Spit on that, because I just figure out, you know, with this +1 thingy. But I still haven't figured out why it started a massacre. Potentially, what's going on? Oh, no. There's no potentially. I don't know what's going on at all. Potentially, what the hell? What am I thinking, potentially? I have no idea what's going on. That's the end of that sentence. Yep. Maybe somehow, some way we'll figure it out. Why? There's some random shit happening all the time. It's crazy. That's what you're dealing with when you're rendering. Like, you from the ground up, random shit is your middle name right now when you do that. Alright, so with that out of the way, I have to replace it with this big chunky thingy. So how do we do this? Let's bring up the board then. Now the reason why I have to do this, I have to put this. Also, I could have used hexagons. Weird, right? Maybe I talked about it. But I can pretend that this entire bounding box is just this. And it has a middle pointer. And whenever I need to check if it's inside, I check where the lines are being hit. So it's here. That's cool. And it's inside. And so we render this. I could use this. This looks pretty fucking fantastic to me. In fact, it works a lot better with rotations. If I rotate this, the bounding box looks like this. It has a lot of empty space. And the bubble is not going to help either. The bubble also has a lot of empty space. In general. Has here too. But the bounding box here breaks down just because of rotation. The hexagon, however, doesn't break down no matter what. It remains a hexagon, and it remains, you know, it says no. No to these bad boys, because the point is right here. So, potentially the final iteration, somewhere here, I am using hexagons instead, but only if I really need to rotate something. Hexagon code probably is even longer than this, but it could be less than that actually, who knows. And I mean, it's not going to be more efficient anymore. I figured that one out. This part of the code doesn't make much sense anymore. So, cool. Figured out one of the biggest mysteries accidentally just by sitting down and resetting the video. I like that. That's pretty good. I like being positive. It helps. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of time to translate this into there. So I can quickly uncheck anything that doesn't actually hit the block. Now, I don't think it helps too much, but I value it personally as like 3 points of heat. It's still a personal value, so it might not actually make any sense. We'll see. Now, it's just like the previous one didn't quite help. I don't think this one is gonna help, but it's a good deal to have. Ooh, look at you, big boys. Maybe it does help a little bit. Not gonna lie. Alright, so we're gonna increase the heat, even if it fails to walk through. I think I done it correctly, but there's no test. I have to test after every single step though. Oh look, these trees are going inside in there. because of the pivots. Oh well, not much I can do, guys. Very nice roots they have. Absolutely. Alright, it's time for a screenshot. And it looks fucking fabulous at 20 FPS. Fabulous. Probably should have went a little bit more extreme than just 7 blocks up. But it is what it is, man. I think we completed this thing. But we got ourselves a problem. So I'm like, well, we got that going on for us. And that's where I end my journey. I did something and something completely broke accidentally. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, we're gonna do extruding polygons. And I have a good explanation on how it's done. So brace yourselves. Oh man. It's gonna be quite easy now. I'm gonna do it tomorrow though. This is all I've done today. That's all. Well, it's not that small of a deal in reality. You can't just call it small. Smallpox. I mean, I figured so many things just right now by recognizing something super simple. Yeah, I love this. This is amazing that it barely glitched while I was taking a screenshot. Aw, so sweet of them to make a nice screenshot. Okay. It's so crazy because, like, there's so much on the screen already. And it's gonna get so much worse so quickly. You know, it's just infinity and beyond is what I can do. That would be very lovely. Now, the next big deal is not to create these long little shits, nor platforms, which I also intend to do. I wonder what I can do. You know, platforms and walls. I can do that too now. So that's nice. And they're not very efficient. Actually, walls would look like this very often, as if they rotated. Right? And all of a sudden I have all this space. So yeah, probably want a hexagon, but just because of this, I want a hexagon already. Fuck that. Just this? Am I really that desperate? Yes, because the wall can turn into this thing as well. Then there's a bunch of X's then. No, that's just... who cares? Walls can be special. They're special. Most importantly, I'm pretty sure, and you have to brace yourself when I say this, when I do the Minecraft version of whatever, I will do chunks. And one, literally one, and I have to repeat this, one block, one single block is gonna be 16 by 16 chunk, or 8 by 8 chunk, so 4 blocks. Not sure if you can put it into perspective. I wonder if I can find a picture of that. So if we take one, let's see, that's 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, okay, 50. Let's find a Minecraft image. Oh wait, I don't know how to find a Minecraft image. They're all garbage. We can, I guess, pick up an actual Minecraft. Junk loading. Oh my god, stubborn. So stubborn, guys. Oh no. So your normal, typical junk okay, this is like from a very far away point of view. Guess how many chunks this is. Okay. This one. Let's do this one. 1 chunk, 2, 3. I'm being generous here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, you can imagine my game being 5 times more detailed or something like that. For no reason. That's fun. So I can already deal with Minecraft. And if I can deal with Minecraft, I'll do it. I'll just do it, you know. Just want to see it. For what it's worth. Turn that one block into an entire chunk for... just for funsies. I can do it. So weird. So weird. It's gonna get so crazy so fast once I start doing that. Because you saw, I extended my my block into a tree stump or a tree bark. Who cares? A part of the tree that matters. I can pretty much have it any size and I can turn it into a chunk as well. And it's gonna be the craziest thing ever. Anyways, so what I want to do now... Did I... Oh, explain some stupid shit, of course. Let's say there's an object. Well, normally it's gonna be somewhat small. Let's say it's kind of like an item, right? An array hits here and comes out of here. This portion of the array is the travel inside portion. I've talked about it a little bit, but it actually gets projected on a 2D space. It's still something we talked about. And there's this image that gets extruded, which is what we're going to be working on next. Extrusion. So the ray gets translated into 2D space. No matter where it comes from, it hits this box and it creates itself or projects itself onto this surface. And then it comes out. It's really, really pretty so far, right? And the way that I'm gonna check how the ray is gonna hit pixels inside. So let's say there's a hole and it will not hit until here. Well, let's zoom in. It goes from here to here. And there's a bunch of lines. So there's two lines here hitting and 5 lines hitting here. And we can pretty much check all of them and figure out which one is the closest one. But obviously we just do it in order, I think. Because like we have positive X here, we have positive Y. We would do it in order. It's very reminiscent of the old school ray tracing that I was doing, where I would have an entire grid of weird things happening, and those weird things can have their own little grids too. And I call them micro objects, but they got messed up really fast. They got weird very fast. And for obvious reasons, I was doing it wrong. Anyways, so when I hit here, I simply check this pixel, and that's what I return. That's what I return. If I hit a pixel, that's it. I go back and render it. And that's how it would work. Even though it's like a 3D object, which is pretty cool as well. It treats the ray, however, as a 2D object. This part of the ray, where it's inside here, because the thing is extruded, and you would think like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a 2D object while you're inside. So that's what this ray would see. And it's a projection, so it's very, very nice. It projects on the plane, meaning that I just have a line, basically. I have lines hitting each other, and then I have a bunch of points. Now the points have to be a little bit adjusted, so if I hit from here, the point is right here with aligned to the grid. So it's a little bit forward and aligned to the grid. That's what it is. Slightly forward. That's how you use... No, yeah. It's very, very much the same system. Very much the same. I used this before. I will have basically micro objects, but I can also adjust the scale of this thing, the z-axis, and I can also somewhat change the lines, the way lines are, maybe even rotated. I don't care. Some lines can be misaligned potentially, but that's very, very obscure moment. I think I don't think I will ever use that. I'm just saying that these are almost like they can be special lines, but they don't have to be. They shouldn't be. They would make things awkward. But every line can be special, surely, or they can be special lines rather, because you don't want to misalign things. You can quicker. The programming's quicker for that. So I think that's it. I think it's very straightforward now. After enough thought has been put into it, it's very straightforward. So happy with this. I can almost say, because I have a straightforward solution, that it's 2 hearts than 1. So that's a good start. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm watching Victorious again. Because I skipped a few episodes, but it fucking hits me hard right now. I don't know, man. It hits me hard. Look at all these points. Oh yeah, the Victoria heat 55%. I don't know what's normal anymore. Because now I'm just chilling. And also I buffed it very late in the time when I was testing all the heats. Buffed it quite a bit. And now there's a new card too. An 8-ball card. It had to happen. Again, there are personalities that come together and work very well because they have all the elements. That's what's super reactive. When you put everything you need in one place, that's when chemistry works. Anyways, I'll see what happens, because I'm just fucking intrigued. The first episode just captures me back. Again, I skipped a bunch of episodes, and I'm amazed how fucking good they are in general, right? And the system has also kind of dodged it, so I'm capable of backtracking a little bit. That's really fucking sweet. Also, Freak the Freak Out just is stuck in my head. I can't do anything. So, so I had to go back and do this thing. It's such a weird thing watching the first episode when I skipped it. Because I'm like, oh, I gonna watch this because of Ari. Now I'm watching because of Victory, okay? That's what I'm doing. It's a different world now. It's a different level of appreciation. That gives me an idea. Quick save. Top tube. I'm gonna copy this thing and start a new round of checks, I think. There are now 72 people in here. Potentially I want to cut some of these off. But who knows? Because I only care about 60. So we can probably cut off. Now we'll see. And the purpose of this for December. So, this is also very awkward as well. I have to split it up a little bit. Or maybe I should do pairs of 3 or something. That's a little bit, because it's too much scrolling at this point. I feel like... What? Oh, never mind. I could do something like this, and that would be fine. Not manually, of course, but that would be the idea. And I would just do it separately. It is a lot of numbers, though. It's a little bit lame, so I'll try and figure this out. I don't have a full concept of how it's gonna work. Maybe I need... Nope. I could just do, you know, like, mark who reached high enough heat. There are 72 people. But the most important part is my ability to edit. And I can't edit. I can't just click edit from anywhere here. It's so lame, isn't it? It's the lamest thing. I think there is a shortcut, or probably not. Probably not. It's too hard. It's probably best if I just split it up a bunch. Fuck. Can I just paste it again? I'll split it into groups of how much does it fit? Of 10? That would suck ass. Even 15 would suck ass. Oh, fuck me, dude. So potentially I should just do it separately somewhere, or add another function where I collect heat and then reset heat, and then show heat here on the list. Ugh. The best thing would be to just have a bunch of icons, and then you click on that and you see everything, the whole information, or like just a list like normally displayed, and it's best like as if a bunch of apps. It is, but no, it is ridiculous if I do it with emojis, with custom emojis. That would be insanely ridiculous. And there's a limit to how many you can have. So that doesn't work. Clearly. I think this is one of those times where I have to do a picture and upload pictures instead. Now that would be quite a dig, isn't it? That would be probably the end game of whatever I'm doing with the engine right now. Right? Just print a goddamn picture at this point. Alright. Now I should... So you can zoom in, because when you do this, you can open original, it zooms in. So you can see pretty much a lot of information. You can see an entire list. And there's... I'm not sure what's the most comfortable number is going to be. Can I display everything? Can I display top 100 easily? That would be nice. Top 100. That's the spot, man. Anyways, let's keep going. This is insane, honestly. I'm also thinking like, okay, maybe I can just remember what heats people had generated. I kinda know. But do I? Do I care? Do I care not to restart everything? Fuck it, man. I do restarts every single time. I'm just very, very insecure about this number right there. Because it can slap right now. Fuck, Victorious is like the craziest show, man. The bird scene. I don't know, man. That's too much for me. I just watched 2 episodes. Give me a break. What a terrifying creature. $82 points of heat, boys. I don't know who's gonna top that ever this month. Merry Christmas. I thought I was gonna be doing this year. No, I'll keep the pin, pretty much. What's up, Onision? Wanna see something cool? Yeah, I get fucked in the ass, dude, after saying that. Weirdos. He fucking knows, man. Don't be too self-aware. It doesn't help your case. Anyways. The case of being lonely. Pretty big case. No. No. Poor. Because there's a package, you know? There's an entire package of life that you get. Also, welcome to second hour. The fun is over. I thought I was gonna do programming. Then I watched a little bit of Victorious, and Losorious. I become a loser. Simply because of the letter that I received stating the same thing, basically. They have dismissed everything. So the case is simple, right? Some old woman walks in. She's kind of related with us, obviously. She wouldn't have enough charisma to just walk in. Uninvited, by the way. She was not invited to come all the way here, but it's like, oh, we're gonna pity party. And the pity party goes wrong to the point where I'm just, stop asking for money, get out. I'm pushing her out of the door. She gets stuck on the fucking frame, trips on the frame, falls down, breaks her leg, and then blames it on me as well. It's a fantastic tale, by the way. And the craziest part is that government just sucks it all up. Yeah, yeah, the guilty person is guilty. We will not even fucking let him speak. He was in a hospital before. He got an illness that is diagnosed as untreatable anymore. Like, literally, they treat it as such. I don't know how it is in English, actually. We need to double check. Incurable disease, that's what it would sound like. Incurable. Now then, that means the word cure means nothing. If something is incurable, if something is immovable, it's like, wow, I cannot move this wall with my hands. Yeah, you can't move walls. They're kind of very, very stationary objects now. They're grounded into they're just grounded. So they get smashed to the ground. And then non-physical material has the same fucking problem, which is like why they would treat it as incurable. They would love to use hands to move it. Government would love if you just accept, if you just consent, if you just fucking let the government dictate your fucking life. It would love that. It never happens, but they keep loving the same thing because sometimes it happens, you know? Like with every evil ever, sometimes it happens, and it's that moment of pure patience that everyone has to walk through until they're pure evil, basically. That's crazy to think about life. Life is almost purification process to become pure evil eventually. And when you become pure evil, you basically get flipped. You want to be evil, but you can't. Because now you're pure evil. You don't know what definition of evil anymore is. So actually start doing good things without even recognizing. When you become pure evil, your judgment is complete out of focus. You just don't know anymore. For me, they declared my judgment to be unimportant, first of all. Just because someone diagnosed me with something uncurable, just so many twists. I'm diagnosed with like schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, because I said I have voices in my head. I had it for a specific period in my life. I was able to actually create voices in my head somehow. Or accumulate voices in my head. Whatever that means, I was able to have it. And it was actually fucking real. And it was like a lot of people were spectating me. My life. Every single move that I make and every single thought that I think, they were able to observe everything somehow. That's the feeling when you hear voices in your head. You don't hear voices in your head. You hear people's intentions and people's kind of knowledge of your. It gets so deep and so fucking ridiculous. The feeling that self that fulfills itself pretty much. It's almost like another magic trick that you don't want to happen. You don't want this magic trick. It's so out of control. It's almost like having sex. Oh, we have it, then we have a baby. That's another human being. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. So, people have fun thinking about, oh, what superpower we could have. The craziest thing is, you probably can have your superpower, and you can have, but you can only have it with a super weakness. Just like with the genie moment that everyone praises in TikTok, or just in social media in general maybe, but on TikTok is specifically the fucking genie moment. Oh, you have 3 wishes. Well, people shouldn't wish anything beyond their range of adoption. Basically, and you can only adopt very small things in your life, because your life actually expands at a small pace. So you should only do small things. When I look back into my life, like, yeah, it's pretty satisfying experience. You slowly learn and gather experience, and you become more aware of what you have to do in life and how you have to expand yourself a little bit. It's always a challenge, because like the biggest challenge is recognizing that you can do it better than other people. You can be less evil than other people. This is the most challenging thing for me to even say. You know, you can be better than other people, but it's just a recognition of free will, and people can kill themselves if they want to, and it's like, well, that will make your life worse, because your life ends. Congratulations, then you transcend into afterlife, but you can't necessarily live a fulfilling life in the afterlife when you have taken away all your freedoms by dying. It's a complicated process. Pretty sure that's how it works. And my brain will not stop there. You know, when I establish some kind of truth, it usually stays. When I establish 4 elements, these truths are out there, projected already. I didn't have to come up with that. They're already built into the system. You just have to figure them out. There's water, fire, air, and Earth. How the fuck did Earth got locked out? But yeah, that's that. Yeah, the government is really evil. At least here in Lithuania, where nobody fucking talks to each other. Nobody fucking cares. In America, maybe you can protest a lot more often. Maybe you can come as people come together to talk about an issue. But then those issues become very tiny, because the protests potentially become very often. People are still not respectful to each other. They have different problems. But here we have specifically a corrupt government running things, because they feel like they're empowering people most of the time, but they're only empowering people when they leave them alone. They're not leaving me alone right now. They just pretend that I need to be hospitalized because I have something incurable, and they treated me as I'm a danger to society. I don't know how to feel about that. Threat to society. Because I have never seen society. You know? I'm declared as a threat to society. It's some fucking vicious dog or something. What society? Usually what happens and how societies die is a very simple thing. We just give up. We're well, we just do work and we go back home, and that's our life basically. But if you do anything more than that, you will become evil. If you think you want to have children, you're probably wrong. If you think you want to have good food instead of boring food, you're probably wrong. If you think you want good technology instead of the technology that you're stuck with, you are probably wrong and broke. Okay? Because the fact that you have a job is a miracle. Other facts are not true. Okay? Other people are way poorer than me, because just having a job is a miracle. And it's a miracle that I let go, and I regret it ever since, but I have to keep that decision intact, because I'm that kind of person. I am incurable. I do whatever the fuck I want. It's the fucking human nature. We do whatever the fuck we want. And that's the craziest thing. I can just come up with mental illness now? No. No, I can't. But see, when the crime happens, not just police is attacking you, but the hospitals are also attacking you at the same time. It's a crossfire of a double joker. There's no escape, really. They find the best fucking way to deal with you. But usually, and in this case, they're wrong. They're just utterly wrong of what they're doing. Because they misdiagnosed me. That's what happened. It's almost like, oh, I fell in love with a princess at Princess Factory. And that was Ariana. And I really felt this was happening. So I picked her personality, and I kind of potentially adopted this weird illness mentality that the world is so much more magical than it can be shrink down into a raisin size, and you can just live a shitty life, or you can live a magical life, and but then the magical life all of a sudden gets blamed by medics. You just get blamed. Well, your magical world has taken over, and you have no consent over it, which is fucking ridiculous, right? But that's just because they heard something ridiculous, and they're like, well, that wouldn't fucking work in a society, and that's kind of correct, but also incorrect. There's one factor that they don't give a fuck about, and it's the factor of, like, please employ me, assholes. Let's see how easy that is. Okay, just employ me. It's not a big deal. I live in my home. I'm not a threat to society by anyone, to anyone. Nobody has to come here. I have full authority of who comes here and who doesn't come here. Because I want to protect my mom. Not to, cripple her freedom to choose who comes here, because whoever comes here just asks for money. Nobody wants these people. And if that's a fucking question, why you don't want people who ask for money? Ask for a job. Ask to be useful, not to be destructive. For once. But people don't know that usually. People don't give a fuck about that. And they just give up to evil. And they're just asking for money because, like, I need money, I ask for money. It's just so stupid, right? Well, it is stupid because you are also asking for people to think the same way that you think. When things are very, very evil, you're also asking for extra things on top all the time. But your perspective is so narrow that you don't give a fuck. So again, when you're asking for money, you're asking for the other person to feel the same way that you do. Which is like, well, I need money, I get money. That's the perspective. And it's the opposite perspective at the same time. So not only it's just so weird. And it's like, well, I value money. Why should I give it to you? Why? It's a fucking reasonable thing that you would get asked. But if you throw that why away, if you no longer question yourself, you have incredible authority, incredible charisma. You should go out there into the real world and actually find that stupid money or save it up. I mean, holy shit, a person comes in here, literally, when my mom gets a pension at day 10, and now at day 11, a person comes here, and it did it this month. She comes here. She's a fucking fragile little shit, by the way. But she's too smart, okay? So she wiggled herself into this, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. I like your style. You will never come in here ever again. I'm just saying. She doesn't know that yet, but hey, it's gonna be next year's surprise, or just surprise motherfucker, because those assholes are gonna come back when I start to get hospitalized. I will not be able to protect my mom anymore. You know, the pity party will continue, and she will continue spending money on those assholes. Because now you can just, you know, you're not being observed. You can do whatever you want. And it's another thing, right? Like, oh, is my mom part of a society or something? What's going on? Is she super unhappy? She should have naturally vouched for me because she was capable of going to the court, and I wasn't. You know. But that's again their decision. You know, like, oh, he doesn't respect us. He doesn't like us. Or whatever they were thinking, they were wrong this whole fucking time. They kept the same illness as if it's uncurable and it's always gonna haunt me. They just have this assumption too. They have all kinds of fucking assumptions by now. The biggest assumption is that you can just clean a person. Keep a person clean. And that's what's gonna fix everything. You know, just keep a person clean. But like, every time they also think like, oh, it's just a person is gonna relapse. It always happens. They relapse. I didn't collapse in the first place. I was mistreated. You know, I just locked my mom out of her home. It was completely normal from my perspective, because I wanted to go nuts at this point. But it's like, yeah, that's not cool to do. They can ask me out. But who knows rules anyways? Who knows every single rule anyways? Right? Oh, I don't actually own this place, so yeah, I shouldn't fucking lock her out. And all that happened is like she stormed out. I wouldn't drag her out or anything. And then I locked it. Because she made a fucking wrong choice to begin with. And I was annoyed that she was going out. And now that everything is calm and she doesn't fucking talk to herself anymore, and she's not a fucking mentally ill person, terrified of everything, talking nonsense all the time, now that she's fucking fixing herself, the same illness is still prescribed to me. It wasn't my illness either, by the way. It was just a frustration going back to home when my hopes of staying in UK were just completely evaporated. That was just a frustration. And, life goes on, and you move on from frustrations, and those frustrations can look like incurable illnesses, apparently. And I can be diagnosed forever now. That's a fun thing to do, isn't it? And it's just, you mix crime with mental illness, and you have this double Joker play, so I have no idea what to do anymore. They can do whatever they want. Because I don't know which side is attacking me. Did I do a crime? Am I mentally ill? Which one is it? Guys, fucking figure it out for yourselves, because this is something really, really funny happening. So what happens double Joker is played, what happens now? If they mix things up so easily, and they still have to make the choice in the end, but they have to make a correct choice, you know? They mix things up because like they have to decide, okay, do we put him into jail or do we put him into a hospital? There's two different environments. Which one is it, you know? And based on my illness, it's like, well, it's a mental illness, so I'm incapable of actually using my mind properly, which is fucking weird for someone who knows programming and psychology to do against. It's like, you know who you're dealing with, right? You can't just put me into a hospital, not expect that hospital to just blow up. You know, and just, well, I accidentally blew up the hospital. I'm sorry, guys. And I didn't blow it up necessarily with the bomb, but I definitely popped something, okay? I definitely did some crazy shit in that hospital. So the real question is like, are these people prepared for what is going on? Because, again, so when people play double Joker against you, most of the time, oh, there's a very specific thing. So, after double Joker, the fate of your life is in their hands. Let them fail. Once and for all. Because that's what happened, basically. They failed. It was more of a crime than a mental illness. But they attacked mental illness anyways. Because they couldn't handle the crime that I did. I just locked someone out. It's like, well, don't do that, basically. But no, we have to punish this person, you know? So he remembers that we have power. What? Why else would you punish me? He's like, well, please stop. That I can't say please stop, because you will not respect me. Well, you should be able to punish people differently. A little bit differently than just eat pills, you know? I'll lock someone out. And, obviously the biggest part is signed to eat pills. How fun was that? Wow. Now they will force me. Because I signed it once and apparently they just own my life, basically. That's pretty interesting to me. My life is now in their hands. They just really want to. But they can only repeat the same Joker, apparently. They can't put me to jail. They're like, oh, but because we can't allow him to speak for himself, we can't actually incriminate him either. You know? But potentially the reality is way darker than that. They can still incriminate me by securing that I have a mental illness. But when I start to speak and they would start realizing that they can't actually handle what I say. Because I'm not incriminating myself. Usually police is like super fucking annoying and it just waits for you to dig a hole for yourself. Say something stupid, basically. They're just waiting for that. Like, literally government is just waiting for you to kill yourself in some fucking weird capacity where they just, I caught you and they put you in that fucking hot spot, basically. But that's the double Joker move. The reality is it's a double Joker move. It's like, please say something stupid so you get mental illness, And if you're very likely to say stupid things, you're gonna be annihilated in a hospital. And vice versa, if, one second, if you being attacked, oh, you say emotional things, high level emotional things, and you're being attacked by a mental, or just a doctor, right? You sit there with a doctor, let's imagine that, and you're talking about very high emotional things. You shouldn't be talking about that. The doctor is not necessarily intrigued by your high emotional state. Okay. For me, I was not intrigued to talk to a doctor. I was like, I had some weird experiences. It's pretty kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, and they're kind of over. But I still have certain authorities that I like, certain idols that I like. So I'm like, well, let's put them in my head. Let's see what happens. You know. And it's like it was a little bit too much for him. For some reason, it was too emotional. Still, I don't understand. But if you become too emotional, wait. No, that's fucking stupid though. Wouldn't it be the other way around if you say smart things? So again, when you're in a police, when you presenting your case, you shouldn't say stupid things. Oh yeah, then there are stupid emotions or like. So for me, like, if I was too emotional and I was talking to a doctor, then I would be caught. Because normally, I can't necessarily have decent emotions. I can just have wrong emotions, and if I'm too emotional, then like I would get caught. You know, feeling wrong, feeling guilty about something. Basically, that's usually the idea, basically, of what the doctor is trying to catch. So they're interrogators trying to catch you saying stupid things that make absolutely no sense, or like having stupid intentions to do something crazy, and a doctor would try and catch you just feeling guilty, I think, feeling bad emotions about something, really really bad, or like fear is probably a big factor as well, because that's kind of a entanglement with guilt. Fear is that thing. Because the doctors kind of position themselves to where they kind of don't have weapons. They don't have guards around. They're trying to make a very calm environment, and they're trying to get that trap hole open, as because they kind of create authority by having no self-defense. It's kind of a very weird natural thing. But now, once we put this in place, to catch fear, catch you on fire, basically, because fear will catch you on fire. And interrogators want to squeeze stupidity. It's like, oh, and then they start asking questions. Oh, what? What did you say? Oh, interesting. And they start fucking squeezing the shit out of you. If you have stupidity. It's like, because at some point, when they ask you a bunch of questions, they start burning you. And when you run out and you're like, oh, wait, that's, no. And you become cornered, basically, and then they like, oh, I caught you, basically. So they figure, they do this, but if they do this religiously, you can punch the shit out of them. Literally destroy the shit out of their career, their self-esteem, all of that shit. And I'm not gonna fucking leave a dust behind when I'm done, when I'm doing my thing. Because they mean business, and I'll take that business, away from them. I'm gonna be that nasty little kid that you have your Legos in your hand, and I'm just slapping those Legos to the ground, and they go all over the place. And imagine you're playing outside. How terrible is that? A bunch of people just storm in and steal a bunch of Legos, and because you don't know who's taking how much. Like, it's like, I guess I don't trust anyone, including the person I don't even know what to do anymore. A bunch of Legos, man. Why did I say that? Because there's some people with too much power, and they feel like, oh, I'm just gonna play with this Lego thingy. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna play with it. And slap it to the ground. Fuck your stupid powers. People who are childish and they religiously do this, because this is evil. You're not supposed to try and catch fear. You're not supposed to want stupidity. You're supposed to do the opposite. You're supposed to do you're supposed to do your job and not your role. Okay? Don't play your fucking role. Do your job. Okay? Because when you're role-playing, yes, I'm an interrogator, and you push a bunch of buttons, and it's like, oh, you're stupid in this section. Oh, let's expand it. Let's ask a bunch of questions about this thingy. Wow. So, somehow I slipped through the system, and now I'm a mental person. Cool. But guess what? Lithuanians have lost all the respect from me. Like, they just lost it. They're not gonna get a shit from me. Not my parents. They're not gonna get shit from me either. Nor my parents, nor Lithuanians in general. This this country at this point. I'm sorry about that. Your government sucks. You have failed. If something slips through your hands and a lot of power just splashes on the ground and everyone is like grabbing power, potentially Lithuania was cursed from the very beginning when it, detached from Russians back, and it's like, well, we have power again. We still have our language. You don't have shit anymore if this is how it works, If I got myself stuck with role players and not people who do their fucking job, because I had to fucking scream at someone. Just say, do your fucking job, Jesus Christ. Why am I sitting here and wasting my time if everything I'll say is gonna be dismissed? Like, what the fuck is the point? It's ridiculous. It's the whole fucking waste of time, and not only it's a waste of time, it's trying to incriminate me too at the same time. It's trying to make me a fool, as if I don't know what's going on. So, two things in parallel are going on, implying that they are super evil, but they're also super blind, and they will fall into my trap of giving me a mental illness, giving me a bunch of gold in the end, a bunch of money for free. It's like, well, you need to adapt to society somehow, so we're gonna give you this monthly allowance of money. It's like, well, keep up the good work then, I'm not gonna sit here and give a thumbs up to role players as if once they incriminate me the other way around, once they play the other Joker and they feed me, that I will be like, oh, now I can just live off money and like not make my game anymore. I can just troll on the internet. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna just drop spawned engine as if it's not my dream anymore because I have everything that I wanted, which is money. Like, wow, my dream came true. Well, I kind of want millions and millions of money, actually, so I can spend it on people who just want to escape as well, and they genuinely show signs of escapism, you know, and they just need a little bit of funding, need a little bit of injection. I know how that feels like, because I'm sitting here right now. People can fund me $1 million, I run away, I start a new life, get the fuck off me, basically. Trying to force medicate me or whatever. It's just the most disgusting thing. I spent 1 month in a hospital. I know all the rules. It's going to be a different hospital now. But in 5 months, it blows up. There's no way my self-esteem does not fucking pick brick by brick apart the entire complex and put it together the way that I fucking want. Literally every brain cell is going to be explored that they have. Because usually people have just a few brain cells, so it's going to be an easy task anyways. You know? And just the craziest thing. But I think the most fun part is to play with guilt and play with fear and pretend that I'm really, really, really fearful because, you know, I'm guilty of, I've done so many bad things to people. I'll just fucking pretend at this point. But I can't confess, you know, because that would be too easy as well. So I'm not sure what the game is when it comes to like high-end difficulty. When you really want to knock people out. It feels like it's just strong to make myself guilty. It is playing with fire. And it's not my personality to play with fire either. So like what's the point anyways? But I don't want to blow up either. It's either me or the hospital. Usually, you know, it's me versus a bunch of people, so they would feel like, oh, but we're a bunch of people, so how could he stop us? You know, like, fuck yeah, dude. Because when it comes to having power, you don't quite have power if you have to use it. You know, it's a very simple thing. If you use something, you have less of what you constantly use. So if you eat food, you have less food because you used it. The same goes with power. If you keep using it, you will lose it eventually. You'll actually lose it. And people are being careful with it, and they're like, well, I have to role play, so, you know, I'll take the easy route. But this easy route does not actually explain itself of how to do your job. Because your job depends on how much you want to actually do your job. You know, role-playing means that if you play the role, you get the money. It's a very simple thing, but if you're not doing any job, you're gonna be replaceable. That's the thing, you know? If you don't do your job and just role play, you will be replaced. Not just fired, replaced with robots. If anything, if you're gonna survive this far into the future, you're at least gonna be replaced with robots for sure. But guess what? It's happening faster than you think. Well, self-driving cars are trying their best, but they will find a way. Okay? Just like rendering somehow is stuck on it looks garbage, dude. It looks like people are not even trying to render things because they aren't. They're trying to make games because making games is a lot easier. Guess what? I've done that. Making games is boring to me now. But I'm gonna come back to it because I have a new system of making games. And it's not too demanding. Okay? Because I have my own system, I can reframe it any way that I want, and it's not gonna be demanding anymore. To do backflips when I just want a fucking slider or something. When I want a sprite, not pixelated. Just a sprite, guys. I want just a heart piece. Something like that on the screen. And it's not pixelated, please. I couldn't get that from Unity. I literally have to invent this 3D bullshit I will still have pixelated hearts pretty much. Potentially. They might not look the best. But they might actually look good. They might actually look good and very dynamic. Or very, I can now decide what it's gonna be like, so no big deal. I haven't yet tested trying to put things on the screen, but it's very, very soon to happen. A lot of crazy things are soon to happen. I just want to vent about this thing that's happening because it's so stupid. Their decision is so stupid and self-destructive, and it's almost like regardless whether it's bad or good, it's changing my life. I have to be prepared. I have to try my best to not allow them to change my life, because if they dump too much power on me, they're gonna regret it, because I don't want any power and I'm gonna use it, you know? However, I don't want more power. I will use it up instantly. So if someone throws themselves at me sexually, let's say, oh, I will suck your dick, you can fuck me, basically, and they're literally working for the system, right? To me, that's a self-esteem boost that's way out of the loop, way out of there, and it's like, okay. And I probably break up with that person immediately, and I'm like, I don't know you anymore. I don't know who you are and what you want. You're dead to me, because you just got consumed. I don't know what happened. We're not supposed to talk to each other anymore. Yes, you're gonna be my spirit animal, and I will think about you every day, but please leave me alone, basically. I will fantasize you about every day, because this is the Monica effect, basically. We can call this the Monica effect. Okay. A cupcake. We have invented a cupcake, for sure. This one is for sure. Monica effect. She wants to fuck, but you take self-esteem instead. You know, hey, you look like a very hot person. Let's do it. Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing news. I thought about you as a hot person, as like a very, very difficult to defeat, like a final boss. You know, it's like we have to spend years and years together, and you have to escape the system, and we're gonna run around the world and search for like inspiration and shit. You know, like this, love just doesn't happen, and sexuality just doesn't. People don't collide with each other in actuality, like, ever, unless they're just learning things and they're making mistakes. So knowing that someone is making a mistake that I wouldn't make anymore, I'm like, oh, I'll take that self-esteem. You can go now. You go away. We don't like you anymore. Okay? And I will report her as a slut to everyone, basically. It's like, it's gonna be my trophy. It's the craziest thing. It's like, if someone actually offers you, and they're guilty, it's just the most fun thing ever. So that might actually happen while I'm hospitalized for long enough. This is one of those explosion effects. That cupcake right there, it's a real mushroom mushroom pie right there. Atomic bomb right there. Now, the first Monica that ever happened to me never happened to me, by the way. Nobody actually said that. I was just crushed into a person. I'm like, please say it to me. I need it. I actually like you. You know, that's the thing that, it can go either way. If I really, really, really like someone, I can put words in their mouth by force. I can probably do that. So potentially that's what government is doing to me right now. They really, really like me, so that's the only thing that they can do right now in order to force me to change my life a little bit. It's it's for the better. I mean, I was sitting in UK and I'm like, I think the government will try and hospitalize me. I was thinking about that. I almost thought maybe they just want to hospitalize people like me. Maybe I'm just a weird person already. This is a very interesting spot to be in, and I think if I just keep myself on high self-esteem, nothing bad can happen. I will always return to home, and hopefully, before this happens, I'm prepared to at least leave a legacy of the engine. Okay, people can download my engine and they can do their thing because I can guide them, but I can't really make updates anymore. And it's something that every single person should have, an ability to make their own Minecraft. Can you imagine that? It's very, very possible with my system because it's just simply rendering, and the rendering is so simple that it literally paves the way for you to do whatever you want. Like Unity, when I'm trying to do Minecraft, I encounter lag loading, all kinds of stupid shit that's not supposed to be in there. What's the point? Alright, so I fixed it for you. It's the coolest thing ever. I spent so much time just to fix that one thing, but it required a lot of pieces of me being smart pieces. That's how they're called. And right now, the way that this feels is almost like I enter a competition of like a genius competition and I just fail that competition. That's how it feels like. It's like a old school math competition. Well, you're smart, but you're not the smartest kid on the block. I think what happens next is purely luck-based stuff. It's like maybe people are very well educated, they had very good teachers, that sort of stuff is a bigger factor than you actually being good or bad at math or being a genius at math or whatever. So I'm pretty sure I'm very high end in terms of knowing how math works, but it's not like I need it to learn everything about it. And there's other things, there's other fields, and programming field is actually a lot bigger than math itself. I'm pretty sure math is used as a very basic tool for programming, but programming itself is so much deeper than math. It is almost psychological horror. That's what programming is. It's a psychological horror. You look at it, you want to be like, okay, I need to speedrun coding. I need to force myself to code. I need to you realizing you need to program yourself to be efficient and to like what you're doing at the same time. Your code is just super demanding. When you become a true programmer, it's just a ridiculously demanding thing. For me, I'm like, I'm just going to pick up psychology. I think it's going to work out just fine because if I'm programming myself, then I'm programming my mental behaviors, right? Like, that's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm just going to observe a bunch of people. I'm going to find those similar behaviors inside me, even if they're just very vague and I have different personality, whatever. I'll just figure out. And I'm going very far with it. And obviously when you adopt psychology, and it's just a weird thing. In my head, this is how it looks like, right? So you have a circle where you go pro. When you go pro, you never go back. Well, you never move, really. And then psychology is kind of a big field, but you're realizing there's the fine line of just these things mixing up, like ingredients. Programming is quite small, and it even leaks out in forms of art, and mostly games are the greatest form of art. So that is very fascinating to me. great form of art and self-expression, all those things. I like that. And the reason why it's psychological is because you need to know what effect you're going to have on others. Because you have a certain effect on yourself, but you live throughout the entire history of what you have been creating. What if you shrink that history and present it to another person? What if you just present them with a game? You normally want to present a game and a history of how it was made. You want this package to come together, okay? Because I'm pretty sure history is just as interesting to people as the game itself, because the game has different iterations and features that it gets over time. This is why Minecraft was such a fascinating thing. It has revealed its own history quite in high detail right now. And I think, yes, you still have to make a good game, but it's very important to make something that's groundbreaking. In order to beat Minecraft, you have to be groundbreaking. You have to outshadow Minecraft's features that it started with, and you have to push, a completely new generation of games and possibilities. That's what it means to beat Minecraft. But I think a lot of games would benefit from just having a rich history of how they are made and which features truly define the game. You have to find the core of the game and present it to people. It will have a similar effect like Minecraft had, because people now will be able to build a community and they will agree mostly on the core feature and they will disagree on a feature that comes later, right? So some people think that Minecraft is getting better, some people don't like Minecraft anymore, and they split off to do other things. Maybe some people like adventure or whatever. I was split into AdventureCraft. I had my own split group that kind of transcended my perspective on what Minecraft could be in the future, because AdventureCraft kind of died and it never came back, and it really hurts when something truly dies, because normally world just keeps progressing and the wish list gets confirmed, and you just become a bigger person in the future. So why would AdventureCraft die? Well, AdventureCraft probably got gobbled up by me. Swallow that, AdventureCraft. Get the fuck out of here. I will do it. I think what might have happened is Cryect would pop in and out in his channel. It was IRC, called Internet Real-Time Chat, I think. I don't know, dude. Some old school term for that. Some old school term for Discord now. So he would pop in and out, and at some point I'm like, wait, you leaving? Or like, no, we started to talk about other game engines, or like using Unity or something. And it's like, well, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted Cryect said, I wanted people to like transition into making games, to making real games, by using this AdventureCraft thing, but in a way I maybe triggered him one way or the other. I don't know. I never heard from him again. He responded to my comments at some point, but then he just disappears. He disappears from YouTube as well. It's just a very sad thing to see. Someone just completely disappears if they never really cared of what they were doing. It's just such a weird thing. So yeah, Cryect just left me with this thing. I had to gobble it up and spit it back out. I still haven't done it. It's a long process trying to just digest everything. And usually this happens, right? People leave legacies, something that they couldn't handle themselves because they're too attached to the project, and then something fails. And that's where it all ends up. Usually it's not something psychologically crazy. It is just people fail, but they hold on just a little bit longer because they want projects to kind of be finished, maybe. Greg did his own map, and not not late afterwards. He just kind of wrapped it up and just left. Um, yeah, making Minecraft maps. It, for me, it was more of a feeling of like, oh my god, there's so many things that are possible. You know, there's so many things we can do and experience, and we can create a whole package of maps and crazy things we can do with Minecraft now. And I wanted to kind of contribute to that, but as AdventureCraft was dying, my contribution was less and less relevant. But even to this day, people still follow it up. People still care about AdventureCraft somehow. That's fascinating to me a little bit. I'm still not sure exactly what reach it has. I'm sure it's shutting down, but I'm sure it's shutting down in a way that I can still create a huge spotlight and bring a lot of people back and make a fuss over a next level. Or just, you know, keep a smile on people's faces until people realize that what I'm doing is actually really, really big. It's not just a copy of Minecraft. I can do whatever I want with this, and I can do it easily. That's the real question. How easily can I actually do it? How many tools can I invent for myself? Because I don't want just Unity giving me the code and telling me, well, you can do whatever you want now. You have the code, right? I had it with AdventureCraft too. I was able to do whatever I want, and I had a template. Not code, I had a template. I was able to grab the terrain, randomly generated, and then reshape it, add a shop or whatever, and trading systems, whatever. Skill systems, and all of a sudden it turns into a game or into a fun thing. It wasn't a game. I never really created a game because I never really finished it. It was not a full-fledged project either. It didn't actually inspire people to help me or to learn how to, how to contribute and how to help. It didn't push me that far enough where it was naturally growing and involving more people. Because that's the important part, is the ability to inspire people to find their future within your, roller coaster that you just built. You need that. You need companions. It's just super simple. And you hope that these railways, they entangle so hard that it's too difficult to just separate them. You kind of just hope. Because it's the best thing when you can truly trust someone and they will not just leave you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are we really that different? Are we really trying to achieve such different things and we can't respect each other? And we cannot spend rest of our lives with each other? Like, what the fuck is the problem? That is actually problematic. It's not one of those marriage things that you need to figure out. No, you need to figure out a basic friendship that lasts forever. Friends forever. Like, people actually want this stuff to happen, but it never really happens. And it's just a questionable thing. How much effort did you invest into that thing actually happening? Because as life grows, you start filling yourself up with crap. Of course you're going to let friends go because it's like, well, that's a lot of space now that's being occupied by friendship. No, it's not. You just never really understood what friendship is. It's not an occupation of your time. It's just being able to trust someone whenever you feel like it. You're not trying to cut a 10%. Usually that's how friendships work. Like, okay, we're going to spend 10% of time together. But when you become a very big person, that 10% means everything to you. And you're like slowly, when it hits 9%, it's like, oh, we're not friends anymore because you're not spending enough time with me. Normally I was a better friend, but maybe I was naggy myself, maybe I was needy, and they slipped through my hands. But Again, it's just random bullshit that happens up to 25 years old, and now whatever friends I do make, they will be hardcore, pretty sure. Or even if they leave me, it's gonna be a hardcore moment anyways. Like, why not? Why not a hardcore moment? I hope Vector comes back, because all of his friends came back quite quickly. Decided, or both of his friends came back, which is kind of fucking awkward. It's an awkward moment. It's like, well, I guess I can double check, if I mean, I saw her yesterday, so that's Masumi, right? Maybe the other one left, though? I don't quite remember his name, so if it's not showing up... Yeah, the other one probably left, though. That's cool. I never really pinged him anyways. We never really cared for each other. Yato, yeah, now I remember. He's definitely out of here. Is Yato something that would show up? Definitely would show up. But we're just talking about him. It's not like I can search for a user because Discord is broken. From user, yeah. You wish that would work. No big deal though. I don't give a fuck anymore. Anyways, so that's that. I talked about that I can beat Minecraft, that I consumed a pretty interesting deal in what I was doing. I was still again doing just childish things because I was still young, like what the fuck? What do you expect me to do? But yeah, now it's a little bit too personal. I fucking hate it. So when things get too personal, you get very, very lonely. I don't like that at all. People are so unappreciative of each other and so separated. At least maybe this specific tier, people don't know each other because they know their own communities and they know themselves very well, but they can't communicate. And kind of includes me, but I usually the one who just kind of gives up eventually, like, oh my god, it's such a long ride that what's the point, right? Especially when you're talking with younger people. You know they're gonna fail faster than you, and you're gonna be dragging them, and it's gonna be a miserable experience when that happens. You don't want to deal with younger people all the time. So what else? So we have this stupid case happening, right? Welcome to third hour. I explained everything. I like this. We have doctors on one side, we have interrogators on the other side. Wishing you will trip over and fucking fall down. So it's literally, they're wishing me bad luck. But when someone actually got bad luck after entering my home and being pushed out of my home place where I stay, where I'm not thrown out as a criminal or something. I have my pity party here, and I'm living it up. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I'm so familiar with this place. I'm dead familiar at this point. My fucking skin has invaded every single centimeter of this fucking wallpaper, wall ceiling thing. It's all just my skin now. It's nothing else but skin. That's what it is, man. You know I spent a lot of time here. I spent everything here. my waking moment here. And I'm not declared as I live here. It's like, cool, yeah, sure, but like, I live here though, right? But I still live here. What's the difference? Well, you don't own this place. So it's like the difference of like, I'm poor, so I can be punched around or something. I can be turned into a punching bag. Well, we have a lot of power, so we can use you any way we want. Sort of attitude. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Uh, the real idea is if you start doing whatever you want, I will start doing whatever I want, and we're gonna be the best couple ever. To see who dies first. Nobody wants to go into a fight and lose, right? Which is why I called out the song "Beat It," because it says no one wants to be defeated. Straight after, no one wants to lose. Everyone wants to use their powers and fucking. Especially when they're role playing, they're kind of in a treadmill of like, oh, let's test this guy, and they get into this loop of not doing their job. They're just waiting for things to happen. So they categorize me as a fucking potato. Am I a sweet potato or sour potato? Sour, throw away. Well, if they get into the habit of doing it too fast, they will feed me power. In the end, they will miscategorize me. In the end. Now, if someone leaves a legacy potentially, that is not a given of power. But I don't care anymore about Adventurecraft. I'm just theorizing. I'm just saying there's always opposites. So when people leave power for you to grab, you actually want to burn yourself so you feel the tension of the power. And you don't want to grab things that are directly empowering you. You want things that directly challenge you. That's a little better. But, yeah, so I can't just pick up Adventurecraft and have it. I can't. It's not enough freedom for me, so I created my own thing. And it's like, well, now I kind of own it. Because Unity does not give jack shit. It didn't give me jack shit, actually. It was completely useless. Unity was completely useless, but compute shaders, not so useless. So thank you for those. Holy shit. Well, yeah, Unity editor is still kind of a little bit useful. No one uses it like that. So I'm still pretty unique. So, yeah. And I will throw that away as well. So all there is just a little bit of code and a little bit of compute shader, which not many people use either. I'm very, very overwhelming with the way that I've done things as well. Very distinct. People can't say I ripped off anything because I'm doing my own thing and I'm doing it fast. And when I want something, I want the core. I want the real thing. So if I wanted to remake Hearthstone, I would remake the core experience. I wouldn't just try and make it flashy or fucking crazy or something. I want the core experience. First of all, you build a deck, you fight against yourself first. Maybe someone figures out networking. I have no idea how networking works. Okay? But someone can figure it out. Someone can actually figure out how to not split screen, but split game. Can you imagine? Networking. Can you split game, please? Because the game can handle two players interacting with each other. But then it splits screens. So you still kind of... But you basically can tap into the game. You might even be able to, like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing, right? What is networking? How the fuck does that work? For me, it's a mystery simply because I have never done anything and I wanted to stay away from networking forever. So I'm not a fan. I'm not friends with networking. Please leave me alone. I'm one of those losers who play single player forever. Forever alone. And when I tune into Hearthstone, that's an exception. That's one single exception, and I would still prefer it single player to some degree, because it's a little bit too intense and too shady as well. You can't quite trust people when they just copy and paste meta decks, but you can at least find it amusing, you know, like the meta is interesting, meta decks, you can maybe change one or two cards into the ones that you like. If you can do a few switches here and there, you can sweeten up the deck just enough to make it work for an hour. It's still a very slow game, you still have to wait for your opponent to do their thing, but it's also an observation, and it's dynamic, and everyone is different, and everyone likes different things, and everyone is trying their best, and usually they're losers, because they have played Hearthstone forever, which is, there are a few people who just fascinate me that they do make good decisions, or they even build good decks. Some crazy people out there, but they have played Hearthstone forever and they created a career out of it, and it's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because I kind of want to jump on board. If it's a normal board, then it will support normal people, but if it only supports extreme people, it gets very cringy. Like, wow, you've made it, but no one is gonna make it, so you'll not be able to. I will not be able to relate with you, and none of it makes sense. You idolize those people because you're hoping the board is just gonna crack and fucking normalize itself or something, you know. Not necessarily anything bad when the board normalizes. So you can think of it this way, right? There's some extreme thing that shows up that only a few people can jump on. It's like, I'm a streamer now, I'm a YouTuber, wow. This is tier 1. You know why? Because people still would have a stigma against that. Well, like, oh, you're a YouTuber, that's cool. How do you get paid? Oh shit, you gotta grab those views, man, if you wanna get paid. You gotta grab views. Your way of payment is not stable anymore. And people don't quite respect you in that sense. That's the tier 1. Oops. I don't remember what X means anymore. But yeah, it's a very limited thing. Exceptional, I think, is what I wanted to say. But who cares? But yeah, it's very exceptional people who jump in. Just like I've said, YouTube is full of exceptional people. Because they're highlighted, they have millions of people following them. That's impossible. That's just simply impossible. And the ceiling supposed to lower itself slowly. 1 million is where it's supposed to start, and then grow down, and basically kind of solidify my personal favorite YouTubers. But at the same time, when YouTube will do that, it will actually grow very fast because it will distribute people. It will fucking rain people and drill like cheese grater through everyone who has over 1 million subscribers. It will just drill those subscribers out of here. Find your own people to support. this person already has all the support they need. It's just the stupidest thing, but we have to say it over and over again. It's like if something is good, we don't want to make it exceptional. We want to make it normal. You know? And this is why tier 2 is the normal tier. It's crazy, right? It's like, what? I want to be exceptional. I want to be famous and all that shit. Are you sure you're not exceptional already? Just because you want something doesn't mean you have to get stuck with it. Get stuck with your wish. People who are exceptional on YouTube, I have explored, right? I have spent hours and hours, and I don't find them too amazing. They might look good, they might do some fun things. They're not like super duper crazy, groundbreaking. I feel like I'm groundbreaking, and if I get discovered, I will punch a lot of people in the face with my words. But I don't think other people are that groundbreaking from my point of view. I still will have to sit through, and I need my environment to calm down and let me do my thing. For some reason, my freedom is intruded constantly. It's just the same thing over and over again. Oh no, someone invaded my home, and that invader got, crippled accidentally. It's just such a fucking accident where people should just forget about it. Just forget about it. But because I was blamed for it by the person, and I have no mental capacity to defend myself, because that's how the government now views me, as incapable of defending myself. As like, oh, I guilt-tripped myself because I said that I don't eat medicine, and I don't assume that I'm sick of anything. It's just the stupidest thing. It's like, well, yes, I don't respect that, because it's my free will to do that. It's absolutely my free will. But now even those operations revealed themselves as like disrespectful, because they didn't fucking understand. The court decided otherwise, and the court is kind of a pack of people barking at each other, and it's like they randomly generate just like the algorithms of water. If you bark at each other for long enough, you're gonna decide, oh, this is the easiest thing to do. This is the easiest, and then they will pick the easiest. But it still kind of randomly generates the easiest thing to do. So it becomes the most efficient at the same time. I think that's how these algorithms work. But if you truly research, you create your perfect scenario of how it truly has to be done. Right? That's the true. That's not even a check mark. That's like the solid fucking T, dude. That's the justice. Fucking the truth. So, and it does not come out of water. It comes out of pure skill. Well, yeah, you can randomly generate easy solutions, but I don't quite like this right now. Okay, I'm not gonna take that as a yes. Yes, take me, senpai. Do whatever the fuck you want. And I don't feel alone either. I needed this. And like, schizophrenia is like, for me, what they truly found is just loneliness. It's like, well, I need friends, assholes. And it's like uncurable disease. Yeah, pretty incurable disease. If I don't have friends, I need friends. You can't conjure friends into my life. Oh, wait, you can! It's unbelievable, isn't it? Just like cancer is definitely a curable disease, probably people just have no fucking idea what it is. Because there is no idea what cancer is supposed to be. It can be anything. It actually can be anything. Last time I remember picking up definition of cancer, it was a lump of replicated cells, basically. The cell is kind of replicating itself a bunch of times, too many times. What's wrong with that? It's just gonna burn out and delete itself. If something is replicating itself, that means your body feels the need to replicate something. What's the problem there? The problem is when your body is replicating something, but you're not using it. You're rejecting it. So your body becomes into this fight syndrome of not knowing why to stop replicating, but not knowing, because it always holds hope, right? So that's what cancer is. Cancer is your body's hope that you will use it. Imagine you live your life and knives get replicated. There's more and more knives every single time you wake up. There's more knives. It's like someone is probably telling me to use a knife, but you never use it. And it's like your body's still fucking replicating knives for no reason. Please. Please use me. At some point you give up and it turns into pure cancer where it's like, okay, it's just knives gonna disappear, but you really needed those knives. You know, you're gonna feel you have to pick either you get cancer or you actually using your body full potential, right? Think about it this way, right? So many people would not be able to use full potential of their bodies, and their bodies would be like, hey dude, you should feel the need to use this part of your body or reality or whatever. Like, it's such a normal thing, and if you get conflicted on that, on the messaging that your body tells you to do, you don't respect your body, you fucking asshole? Of course you don't respect your body, because a lot of people, I've said this before at one point, but it's such a wonderful concept. This is your self-esteem. It's centered, right? And your center is your body. Very simple. And then it has a bunch of layers. But what happens if you just fucking push your center somewhere else? Or even worse, to someone else to literally have control over you? Nothing good will happen, obviously. You're going to be negated at some point. You're going to be self-destructing yourself. It's a fun little challenge, obviously, to run around inside your circle of control. That's nice. But you always have to come back to the center. That's what center point is about. It's just something you always come back to. And then you project your power. It's almost like an eyeball. Maybe that's what eyeballs are made out of. Pure soul. This is why you look at eyeballs and you see, what if your eyeballs actually contain soul? It kind of feels that way, doesn't it? If you think about it. I truly believe your eyes contain your entire soul. You're just your eyes. And there's the third eye, but the third eye is just simply the combination of your two eyes. Because you need kind of two eyes to perceive 3D space. It helps. It's quite nice. Two eyes. Potentially you needed two people to make another person, so potentially that's the same thing. It's helpful to have two people, not just one. It's not necessary. Potentially you just become a blob. But maybe you still have two eyes. Maybe you just become a blob with two eyes floating around. And your third eye is like this. An extra eyeball as well. Or its own, I don't know, man. Fucking pretty sure that's how it works by now. Stare at each other's eyes. Like, there's nothing else. Like, there's nothing else more valuable than sight. Right? But yeah, you can have no sight. And you can still have senses, and it will still certain center around something. it will build itself. It will stack somehow. And you know, another thing about stacking that's also super scary, so prepare yourselves for another extremely scary thing. This never stops growing, okay? Never ever stops. So you kind of eventually consume the entire reality around you. And you might not want to live that experience, because living that experience is pretty fucking terrifying. Okay. Skull. The reason you die is because you are too big for your own body. Too big. You have expanded into the next level of whatever next level is. You have completed the tier list of tier 4. Hopefully. You might not want to complete the entire tier list, and when you die you're like, oh, you're gonna potentially be presented with a choice to relive your life because you haven't completed anything. You know, you kind of, you want to be a completionist, you have to go for it and relive your life again. That's what it means to have past lives. That means you made a lot of mistakes and you kind of slowly forget about it and start all over again. Hopefully not making a mistake anymore. Because now you kind of rise the heat, so you know you're gonna progress a little bit further every single time. So that's another little thing that should give people hope. Even if you fail in life, you just restart it and try again. I do it with Skyrim all the time. Okay? Maybe that's how heaven works. When it's not painful to restart every time. No, it's always painful. It's a lot of time you have to sink into one session. And you know, one life is like a tremendous amount of time. Or rather significant. So you don't want to loop a significant amount of time. Ever. Especially when it's full of suffering and, you know, lack of actual fun. I don't think I had too much fun in life, but it's hard to define fun. Now we would enter even another fucking matrix. But for me now, jumping from one matrix to the other matrix, super duper simple, so you know I will explode the fucking medics really fast. Whatever they would try to do to me. I think this is where my story ends. I think I wanted some kind of bonus talk. Oh! Are they gonna reach... Also, I just wanted to explain what this is about, right? So I had this meme pop up in my head all the time. What advice would you give to anyone? Get a good lawyer. And this just can't leave me. This is such a good meme because having a good lawyer means you need your voice. You need to have a lot of good self-defense when it comes to expressing yourself that you're not fucking mentally ill. You know? So potentially don't actually want a good lawyer. That's just a step forward in life. The leap forward is to be able to defend yourself and just take life as it is. So whatever punishment happens, whatever. You just take it in. But you must be able to really fully voice yourself out, then deal with the consequence. Because you shouldn't accept the consequence. You should be able to hide from that in case something wrong happens. And people don't want to listen to you. But normally people will listen to you and you normally will be able to express yourself in normal situations. I don't think luck is such a big factor in this case. I think people have voices. And that's the main thing that we have, is the ability to fully express ourselves all the time. We can actually do it right now. You can do it. I think that's another scary fucking thing. Right now, this moment, you can express yourself any way you like. You can bump into any person you want and express yourself any way you like. That's kind of how the world is made. You know, someone can bump into me randomly, and it's not happening right now because we're all frozen out of fear of self-expression. For me, I'm just like hoping someone is gonna bump into me and just care a little bit to recognize that I'm not a fucking retard. And I always invite people to express themselves. I want this to happen, but it's such a scary thing because it's deep. It's something that I've dealt with a long time now. And as my brain expands, you know, the time kind of gets longer, not shorter as like people like to say. Oh, the time gets shorter as you're growing older. Maybe if you're bored, the time gets shorter, but then it does get longer anyways. But what I'm saying, I don't feel time, I'm feeling the impact of time. So 1 year becomes like more impactful in my life than ever before. Because I'm actually growing and I'm actually expanding my ability to experience things. So it's just, and have more freedoms, have more opportunities. Of course, my next year and the year after that is going to be greater experience than the previous year. It's just crazy to think otherwise. To think that life gets more and more boring. No, it stacks, yes, but that's what makes it less boring each time. Because trying to balance a stack of years gets so freaking difficult. And people even lose that. People lose a lot of shit, man. Oh my god. Misconception that your late years are less valuable is such bull. Oh my god. It's what? Maybe you lived your life wrong, and what is happening is the knife replication effect. Please use a knife to cut yourself, please. You might want to cut yourself. Why would your body ask to cut yourself? Because it wants you to do something stupid, or it wants you to do something smart. You have to make that decision, because something's weird. What is happening in your life if your life actually gives you knives instead of lemons? You know, like it usually gives lemons, but right now you get knives. So please do something stupid or something smart to get rid of all those knives. And you can think of it as just a very trigger happy thing of like, oh, I have more guns in my home or something, like something that's not supposed to be there, but it's there anyways. It's a trigger happy thing. It's something that would trigger other people to feel uncomfortable or feel like they might want to grab something against you, or just, you know, it creates such a bullshit tension as well. So the knife thing, right? You have to either do the stupid thing, just play with fire. It's like you have so much fire, just play with it. And your brain kind of starts replicating what you did often enough, I think. But I don't think this example even matters. I think I want some rest. I think all I want to do is just escape these scary things that just kind of fucking stacked right now. But I also want to find the case of being poor, yeah. The case of being poor, I couldn't pay, so they just reminded me, well, we found mental illness, we know your personality. It's kind of, you have to read the government. The government is not obvious at all. So potentially what they actually said is, I know your personality. Ooh. No, you don't. They actually missed that shot as well. Saying that I have schizophrenia, it's just a jump. It's a huge leap of faith that they just because I said I have voices in my head at some point. It's the weirdest thing. I heard this before, this myth before. I never thought it's actually real. And they can't fucking handle it. It's like, no, it's still a myth. I'm jumping on you. You fucking retard. It's an untreatable illness. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude. It actually happened to me. And I kind of know the recipe for disaster of how to create this scenario. But it's so disgusting. Because it reminds me of other things. Of other social experiments. Of other witchcraft experiments. That potentially are real to some degree. But usually they just play with things. Play with things that I experience every single fucking day. Or every other day. Or every other year. You know, I pretty much... You know, when it comes to witchcraft was 2019. That's what witchcraft was. It was 2019, and it kind of started with T-Series taking over PewDiePie. That was a witchcraft moment to me personally, and almost spawned the entire fucking flow of things as well. I don't want to backtrack, it's scary. And I would say like the end of 2018 also kind of included a portion of witchcraft. It probably included almost everything imaginable. It was just a new, maybe almost like a graduation situation, but it was early graduation. Because usually when you go from tier 1 to tier 2, you get tested for no reason. Maybe at age 23. It's like, let's test this person for no fucking reason. You know, they're not gonna graduate now. They're probably gonna graduate at 25 as always. But let's just fuck with them, you know, like fuck them up so badly that they have to change their behavior radically. And I think I basically explain what happened to me. I just changed so radically. Now I needed celebrities. Now there were like golds to me. Because I was watching YouTubers already. It's like, what's the point of not adopting more celebrities? And then I'm like discovering this thing and tuning into more and more music, and I just can't stop it. It's pretty good. More music, that's fine. I'm not sure what broke everything. I'm not sure how the story started, to be honest. Maybe it's worth double checking. Before we can go back, like, even before, there's the moment, anything before this thing. So I'm not sure when the first thing happened. Oh wow, there's a lot more. Okay. So this September 20. September No, that's not what I wanted. 2018 11. I was still talking with Vector and a bunch of dudes, basically. And then he couldn't send his text, and some weird shit happens, and it kind of messes with my brain a little bit. To the point where he says something stupid as well. So that was 11:24. I think I took a big break as well. Yo. So it looks like I'm taking a break. This story. Still taking a break. This was a huge break, by the way. Oh, it burns. What's up with fire in my life is this sun. This was such a fucking weird moment. It was a waking up moment for me. I started fucking talking shit. I'm not sure what my mental state was there. I don't really care right now. Then it got stuck on this Burns thing. Those days were dark, but the darkest part was November. November was when it blew up. Okay. Ugh. Scary, man. Just going through this. It's scary. The Burns thing was kind of associated alongside with the Pledge the Legion meme. There's a lot of fucking weird things that I thought about that still haunt me to this day because they were scary, right? As if they really, really meant something. But right now they're just a blur of garbage. And really annoying. And here it begins. The very, very beginning. Apparently. What the fuck? I'm gonna jump into it. Wow. In one day I just blew everything up. Out of proportion. Very beginning. The sweet spot. Where everything begins. Oh my god. It's a long journey, you can tell. So probably just jump in here. I also think the sweet spot actually breaks. And again, I spend tons and tons of time. No. Yeah. It all started. They all started the 22 of December. So we're kind of approaching that cycle, I would say. So this would be year 2019 cycle. The true story 2019. This has to be rewritten quite a bit. This makes no sense what I did here. The real story, I should just say it actually. Real story 2019 happened throughout Discord channels. And you have to kind of piece it together because it's very split apart. It's a very weird thing. Alright, so... Where was I? Or was it Sweet Spot? Where is it? It's here. The day it all started. Holy shit. At first I used Powerpuff Girls, but then there is another beginning of the story, as you can tell. Because the main team members, the truly main team members were Ariana and the friends. They're the celebs, okay? The celebs, those who truly made it to the top because they're active on the internet and I can interact with them. They haven't blocked me or anything, so fuck yeah, dude. They can't block me. It's the funnest thing ever. Celebrities are the most friendliest people ever, so as long as you're not a fucking super stalker. But then it's still like very interesting. Like, wow, you're a stalker, that's cool. Back in the day I didn't even use stars, I just used vectors. So stupid. But I have to deal with it. I don't even know who most of these people are. Because I made it so fucking cryptic. I didn't call them pewds or anything, I just called them letters. It's the stupidest thing. I want to relive this and just throw the video out there. It's trash. There's nothing to talk about, you know, I'm under attack. What am I going to talk about? I can only talk about the experience that I had in a hospital already and the experience after I have it. You know, the experience I had in the hospital for 1 month was insanity. For 5 months, I wouldn't be able to survive. Absolutely no. What's the point? You know, how can you afford this even? They can't. They're just bluffing. It's all just a big fucking bluff scam bullshit. They think they can handle the heat that I am. I haven't fucking gotten anything out of life. I haven't gotten anything out of life. I wasn't rewarded for who I am as a person. And it becomes more and more obvious. Fuck it, dude. This is haunting me right now. Maybe he will not recognize. There you go. Sneak attack. To nickname. Ari. So there's a bunch of memes. Come on, let's get to the juice. Oh, look at that. That's Rebecca Black. And Selena shows up. Wow. So those are the first ones. Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black together show up in my brain juice world. Okay. Because they're the memes, you know. They just come together as a package. Very nice. Okay. And why did Selena came because Justin Bieber connection. Hi, I'm Selena. This is the best shit ever, dude. How do celebrities wiggle themselves in is probably the most expensive shit you will ever get, so let's fucking go, man. Let's get that 10-minute clip to insanity. I don't know who TH is. Nope, I don't know nothing. Nope. Don't know what you're talking about. Nope. Cell G shows up, but this is pre-recorded, pretty much overlapped. Rebecca maybe? Highlighted? Who cares? Rebecca now smashes. Just smashed in. Oh wait, it's gonna be my year this year. Of course. Yeah, very nice. The sniper. Talk more. The hearts show up as stars. I think I might bleed out into different parts as well. Yeah, now I'm bleeding out. Fuck. So I have to check by date for sure. Or I won't be able to actually know what's going on anymore. So 2018. Wait. Okay, 2018. And 22 when it started. What is 23? 23 nothing. 24. Feuds. We have to now start jumping like this. Do the jumping. So at some point we should be hitting something familiar, no? Really? This is where Ari is. Okay, I don't know what A-eta is. A-at. Probably just still A. Which is Angel. Which is garbage. So that's still pretty deep then. Whoa! That is deep. Welcome to Spawned. This is the beginning of the server. What? How did I do that? What? I guess. What? So there's the lodge thing opening up as well. It's so hard to... Well, we know Rebecca fucking goes nuts at 24 now. Day 24 December. I think things get so intense for me in general. But yeah, Rebecca just kind of takes the cake. For sure. Then I just upload pictures for weird reasons, okay? Weird reasons. Bleed out some pictures that I liked. Those are super old. Okay, now we move to 25, but it shows 24, so it's just so stupid. Before just goes one day before. Okay, I guess I'll take it. So day 24. Shows up in the power list. I don't care about power list that much. So we have different channels too. We have the lodge still active. I don't know, man. Okay, cafe opens up, I think. When does cafe open up? So this is how you would explore it. Taylor Swift was pretty early, wasn't she? She was. She was very fucking apparent. And potentially was more actually active than you would think. She came in through Kripparrian, through basically Hearthstone. So it makes sense, right? HSTS? That's pretty close. Taylor Stone, man. That's the one, dude. T-Stone. That would fucking work. Or Tavern Stone. That would work. So Taylor somehow fucking shows up. Okay, that's cool. Let's do... Yeah, this day was long ass day, by the way. wasn't. Yep, it was. It definitely was. It was a long ass day. I don't even know, man. Yeah, whatever. I'm so fucking into like, do you know who these celebrities are? They're fucking huge, dude. You have no idea. I have no idea. Now I have no idea how it feels like to discover celebrities. For the true time. Oh yeah, it is 25, so now Ariana is active. I would like to know, like, after reading all of these lines through code, who was the most active person? Did she... Yeah. I put R into, like, different language simulator. Jade. By the way, Jade was the new name of Rebecca Black. I put her into Jade, but then eventually it's Jewel. And Jade is actually... It sounds so fucking freakish because Jade is the name of Victorious person who acts as a wind person. So she's literally playing the same personality as Rebecca Black would be. So I just fucking nailed the name at this point. And if Jewel is like the improvement of the name, then I'm fucking genius at that point. Alright, so now we're hitting January, but how active I was this whole time. I was active here too. The entire start of the year, I just had nothing else to do but this. And it became quite weird. Now Aryan and me was like super duper deep, I think. We were now companions. Easily. I think. And playing around with different things. So I have to like look up until we hit a shitty date that we don't belong into, or just end of the field. Skyfield is its own thing as well. So weird. All of these channels are weird, but I think people need to know how I feel about. If I can't scroll through, then I'm not gonna check anything. We're just gonna jump through. It's so difficult. I still use Skyfield day after that. And now Lithuanians invade my thingy. The speakers invade my thingy. It's too fun to play mind games with them. In the end, like Lithuanian language becomes kind of a haunting language, I would say. It's a new language basically to me to discover. What if I play around with it? What if I pretend that they speak to me in Lithuanian? Like, it's super fun. Now it's just it's a sick nightmare to me, knowing how other people feel about this. It's like, what? Or at least how I introduced myself to them. So it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid that they don't have the full experience. And it's like, what? So all I'm talking about right now is that I'm just saying I'm on drugs or something. Is that how I'm being treated? We got KO, we got JJ, who eventually creates a JJ show. Yeah. Okay. I think Sabi shows up, basically. Sabrina. With this song specifically. And it breaks everything. But she doesn't show up here. Oh shit, no! No! I set it up already. Why? I set it up. I'm pretty sure I'm at 29. Maybe it was just a tease? and I didn't actually care yet. Maybe I slept on it? What happened? Where did Sabi showed up, man? Oh, now Grailmore and Ant. That's what I was into right now. Weird. And then I started like doing these smiley things and calculating scores. It was quite interesting. Okay. Is that it? I was starting creating a bunch of new channels still. Can't stop. Can't concentrate my powers. Just bleed out everywhere. It's like a child figuring out that they hold a water gun or something. But not knowing consequences of someone getting wet. Dude, that's crazy. And then New Year happens. I still have to double check this date. Nothing. I did nothing at 31. As if December 31 does not exist. I mean, December 30 does not exist. What do you mean this does not exist? What a bunch of losers. Wow. I disappeared for a few days. What? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Holy shit. Where did I disappear? Probably got tripping, man. Probably just went super trippy. I don't know, I disappeared for a few days. Maybe I deleted something? Because that's a little weird. Iceberg Russians, boys. Yeah. But so far, not much. Oh, Jewel becomes Jewel, finally. It got this split personality until it becomes Jewel. Finally. Wow. Why would it split personality? It's so weird, isn't it? But there was Dark Rebecca Black, okay? That was the dark version. Because I was so scared. She was so fucking scary, I had to have two versions of her. That's so fucking weird. Cafe gets a return, a comeback pretty much. Maybe even a shutdown. Which ends here, actually. Okay. That is shady. Why did it end? Cafe got closed. Oh, Taylor. What a shitty... Oh, come on. Why did I close this? Oh my god. It's just the worst. I'm kind of smiling, but I don't like this. No, I'm kind of generally happy, yeah. Yep. Very nice. So now I'm probably just bouncing around. I'll do 2 days at once. What did I pinned? Is it? Oh. Now I'm building teams. Okay. Team building. Maybe I don't skip. Maybe I just go through very quickly. Okay, then I play a different game. This is where lava shows up. So Taylor Swift did her work and fucking left. Planted a seed and then lava just takes over immediately. What a bitch. That is so fucking shady. What the hell, dude? Because I remember just playing one of these fucking musical games where I just type shit in. And if I fail, it turns into this garbage. And it's like, it's a little cat thingy, you know? Yeah, lava shows up. Fucking hell. And now it probably feels very, very at home all of a sudden as well. probably just tricking me. Disgusting. I do not approve. But yeah, she tricks me fucking deep now. Now Lava and Ari is pretty much a thing. And 11, which is Monica, and then the backup dancers, of course. Okay. Yeah, now it's pretty set. Rebecca Black as well, pretty set. So the biggest question is like, when oh, she just became Jewel. I had like this super duper question. When does she become Jewel? And that's when. I don't know what it means to be JW. What? I don't know what it meant. But she did become Jewel. So don't ask me why it took forever. But the question is when she like truly adopts this. Because then she just disappears. What the hell? Okay. That's crazy. Okay, Selena shows up. Wow. When was it? 15? No, she didn't show up at 15 then. That would be a jump in history. I'm already wasting my time, but fuck it. Wasted my time of interest. Just I will pretend that I'm interested. Is there a server for AdventureCraft? Quaternions. Yeah, so the Masumi shows up, and a bunch of fucking weird characters shows up, but this is late month, as you can tell. This is vector garbage. KC, so we can probably just skim Lava this, or fucking, what is it? Propaganda moves. Fuck that shit. Didn't work on me long term. Suck on that. Taylor owned it in the end. So that's a whoops. Supernatural. I think this is the very, very beginning. No. This is one of those first songs that I would put into the list. So the list is actually quite old. But I think it starts at like March or something. This list, Ultimate Playlist. If we go back to very, very beginning, which this is, I think. No, this one is at the beginning. Oh, it's 25. So we're very close to that. I did some weird shit as well. But my big question is like, when did the... Still Jewel. Not Jewel. They have to go to their final forms where it's Ari. You know, that sort of stuff. The best thing is to know their name transformations. Avalanche. So that's Angry Lava, basically. The flipped lava. And this is where my friends start coming in and trolling me. So I just fight them with lava. But I also had Taylor Swift saying, we're frying a fish here. No need for soups. Taylor Swift. Yeah. So even though lava was active, Taylor just kind of jumped in as well at the same time. That's pretty sweet. And that's what was One Day Adventure, and I think I made them leave. Because it's too much. Grailmore. Chat. DH, I forgot what it is. I really don't know what DH is anymore. That's pretty sad, right? Can I dismantle it and figure out through chat? What? I don't think so, man. DH, what the hell? Oh, wait, Demon Head. Oh, fuck, yeah, dude. Why is Selena showing up here now? But it's finally, right? Or is it? No, it's not finally. Fuck me, man. Why she's the last one? It's such a fucking crazy thing as well. Because it's kind of true. Rebecca is the first one and Selena is the last one. And Taylor Swift. It's like the weird one. It is the weird one. Perfect. Perfect combo wombo, baby. Oh, look. Taze. She's still battling, man. Basically, if you compare Lau with Taylor, like, fuck yeah, dude. They were battling from the very beginning for attention. Okay, not changing yet. Still Rebecca shows up? What the hell? What is this thing? For me, I'm just like tripping, so I assume you care about everything. This is the deepest depths of my Discord. Oh wow, Ari finally. The final form. Congratulations. Well, for me, yes. When Rebecca hit Jewel, when the Jewel was said, it was said, so it was before Ari fully formed into Ari. I think I can do 2 days now. Oh wow, I skipped a bunch of days. I didn't lost my mind. I thought it said I lost my job or something. Now I started compiling songs because I had my favorite list. And then I built cards, I built a bunch of fucking weird shit. Listening to music was just my jam the whole way through. Taylor again. Sneaking in with that picture, dude. She's always battling. Okay, Cell G is showing up, finally. Investigations. That's the one, man. That's the one. We got it. At 29. Starts her reign of terror, okay. Not too deep. I was like, oh, what tattoo you have there? Fucking weird. When there's 4 symbols, there's always 4 elements, and it kind of looks like that, actually. But I don't want to translate it anymore. I think it's dumb. I think it's done. That's what makes it dumb. Overdone. Overdone meme. You might find a video. I was still making videos in this process. So you can find videos about this. And my mental state back then. Again, the way I feel about mental states. People are okay. People are never really fucking broken and completely insane. That's just impossible. What happens is just a list of unfortunate events that ends up badly if something does go badly, it has a very deep history of weird things. Mr. Beast shows up. That's cool. And he gives me a deep experience as well. Especially with that video specifically. Where he goes from 1st grade to 12th grade. It's such a deep fucking experience. Taylor Swift can't fucking leave, huh? What the hell? What's wrong? See, that was fucking crazy then. I like that a lot. I kind of promoted Taylor into a joker, and I don't like touching jokers anymore. In that process, where the fuck does Selena even start appearing and talking? Like full-fledged blackness. Yeah. Still, it's a Rebecca Black time. The Discord is quite a black space. Believe me, and this is 2019, so I dedicate that to her. And now I'm in finally. Final form, dude. Jewel. Fully used now. The first time Jewel was fucking used. I can try and like say Jewel right now. Finally. Actually, it goes deeper than that, huh? Well, not too deep. The first time Jewel is used. Wait, what? That is. Oh no, it's double star. Double star. I was able to sneak in those comments basically into the past. The first time Jewel is used. It's not here either. I was sneaking those. Sneak, sneak, sneak. How was I able. I don't even know, man. Ultimate playlist? What the fuck, though? It's not even in order, then. It's more of an in order of, like, special places, then. I guess she was showing up somewhat, but I used Jew so many times more. You can say it's Awaken at 11. Whatever. So first Ari and then... No, first Jewel and then Jewel finally, like, picks up the speed now, Selena? Maybe? Yes? What is happening? There's a lot. Oh, this is close to where I start gambling or something. I don't know. We can skip unless it truly hits. I think now it's hitting the form of, like, the squad is assembled. Now it's just fully taken over my mind. Yeah, now I just made him talk in weird ways. Because we went deep. And I pretty much assembled a squad by this time. This is it. Squad assembled. Fuck yeah, dude. Alright. We have that. That means the adventures begin. Squad is assembled, but lava is still a... Now that the squad is assembled, now it's a different creature. It's almost a replaceable thing. I would say to myself, like, if I'm replacing someone, I'm not changing their name, but I don't think that's true anymore. Basically, if someone is a fire person, they just... Okay, now Jewel is just showing off that she's in fact Jewel. I don't know. I think now weird things are happening because I'm exploring the internet a little bit more, or exploring personalities or whatever. It's just now becoming a weird thing and exhausting. Tana. So now it's more of like what kind of people show up on the list, become highlighted at the same time. This seems like more chatting. Doomcry. This is deep. I think this one is deep. These are challenges to me. It's kind of like uncracking the code, but I use them instead of just directly breaking through whatever questions I have. I think I can just go months now. I tried to invite more people in because I had enough self-esteem to do that. I don't think I would have that anymore. Because I don't know what this channel is about and how it's supposed to function. And people don't know it either, so it doesn't help, you know. I think now that things break down, I still didn't quite pick up Selena very well. So if we can do that, that would be nice. Whenever she fucking speaks. And where? In investigations, Card Palace. That's basic. Ultimate playlist, not important. Why investigation show up twice? What the hell? Stop. Stop it. Sweet spot. Welcome to a different world. Wow, she doesn't speak much. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. Month number 2. And we have 28. What do we get? We get Doomcry. So she's kind of like tagging along because the crew is assembled. That's fun, actually. It does make sense because I'm doing the same exact thing again. I'm dedicating 4 years, and if people win, they win. You know, they win me over. But I crafted my reality. Fuck that shit. I get it. People have weird expectations, and now they want everyone to be normal and everyone to align this specific way so it's easier to read. But when it's difficult to read, they just become disrespectful and awful people. So what was the point anyways? Life is not supposed to be easy anyways. I don't think there's an exclusive point where she becomes active, so I don't know what I'm looking for here. Because it has to, like, show itself. I think this was the time, where I wasn't active. Simply because I was stuck somewhere else. Potentially in hospital or without the internet. So there were some dark times, absolutely. This looks awkward, chat. Oh, it's some super attached, overly attached piece of garbage or something. And I tried everything to detach it. It was kind of fun. Still using multiple personalities, obviously. Super hot, man. It's summertime, dude. I can feel it. Wow, Selena's so fucking stupid. Doesn't show up. Even Taylor Swift shows up more. I wonder. What if I do that? Just Taylor. Just Taylor. How much she get? 19 pages. Cell G. 34. How much lava does it have at this point? Because now that's a good way to check. So much more. 46. Even more than Selena. How much Ari has. This is so cool. I like this. Checking pages. Alright, alright. 72. We're gonna combine Jewel and RB. Wow, Jewel has the least amount of pages. That sucks, man. That's so weird, too. Okay. Yeah, I just like repeating patterns, but it is what it is right now. Alright, alright. Celeste is from another vector friend. I don't want to triple check everything. But yeah, now it's like super solid, I think. That's the true Jewel, I would say. Is I never really stopped talking with my made-up companions now. Taylor Swift now becomes aggro. This is the moment, guys. Taylor Swift goes rogue. And really wants attention. And she actually captures lava as well. Like, defeats her for a moment. Not sure which way, but you can see no one is actually... Lava is not showing up anymore. Just we're trying to beat Taylor. All together. All of us combined. Can you imagine? Because she's creating so much chaos. Like, well, I have a lot of power and influence, guys. No big deal. Yeah, that's the battle. What is November? Now we're hitting like super late here, so it's gonna start mix up with some crazy shit. I'm safe at my home. I'm doing RuneScape now. It's all fucking settled. I'm having a good life, potentially. Fucking Taylor Swift, dude. Okay. You're so active. What do you want? Currently active. Now I'm checking who's active. Oh. She built a team. Fucking weird, man. The war didn't end there. What the hell, dude? The war just doesn't end. Now it should end. But did lava showed up ever? Oh, Delphi shows up. Oh, oops. Nope, still no lava though. Wow, she really just knocked the year where the crystal solidifies, where this is the jewel, you know. You want this name to show how much you love friendship. It's the coolest thing ever, dude. The name Jewel. I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Just fucking random shit, dude. Now it's just completely random. No. No, it is. So weird. And finally. So this is an entire story of just the entire story of the jewel. I tried building some cards here. Like the newer versions. What did Jewel say? Ah, she's complaining. It's like, we need something new. Oh, and she battles Taylor Swift as like the final battle. Oh, that's the one, dude. It was a draw, I think. Was it a draw, really? I think it was, but I think Jewel wins because it's a draw. Because she's not as influential. It's so hard to tell who actually won. Round 5, round 7, round 9. It was a fucking draw, yeah, in the end. I try to add emojis as if I know, like, what happens, and I kind of relived the actions a little bit. Yeah. It is what it is. If it's in your memory, it's part of life. You know, it was part of life. That's pretty cool. It's all about making memories, guys. It's not underestimate dreams and imagination. We can't fucking do that. Can't underestimate. And finally, Ari should take over any moment now. Any moment. Story of Jewel. Look at that. So sweet. That's so sweet. To bump into a title like this. It might not mean anything, but it is what it is. Bruh. Yes, yes, indeed. What a weird. This is where I kicked Gomo, I think. Oh no, I don't know actually. I just said hi. I don't know, you tell me what this is about. He gives me some songs. I don't know why he didn't hang around actually. I think we had a good chat. Adios. And well, then there's this guy. Who also kind of is interesting, I would say. So there are people coming in. But it's next year. It's kind of like homey. It becomes quite homey up in here. Okay. Why is Ari not taking over? What the fuck is going on here? Now I think this is the moment where it's super duper clear what's going on. But I don't know why it wasn't the end of the year clear. Because I know what kind of videos I was releasing. It was YouTube Battle Royale. Oh wait. That's why. No, that's not why. No, it was 2020. The beginning of insanity. Why, Jewel, you're so fucking active. Please stop. At this point, let's test Jewel and Ari. 54. So she fucking blew up very, very late in the year. Okay, that's cool. I like that. 90. So that's still a lot more, though. Not gonna lie. Please? Can something make sense now? Can something interesting happen? I'm trying to generate content, guys. It's not working. I feel like, you know, like, the reason why I'm doing this and not, like, carefully crafting the adventure, it's not that important. Because at some point, everything just solidified and, like, it's so beautiful. But we needed to snipe lava down. It's so fucking pretty as well. Almost like Ari had her own mission, mini mission, in terms of unfinished group business. But now this the full year of like the actual mission is establishing the feeling of home, the feeling of like something super duper centered around something. So I can just click on things and like they're really, really important to me. Maybe Rune Lord is not important anymore because I have my own system. And but the most important parts are like centered here, around here, and the home chat is the most important part. So I think it goes like this. Would it be organized like this? That's pretty cute, right? And that's the end of that story. The way this year went, I would rather you would check my YouTube channel, because that was the most active part of my life this year. It's so fucking cute, I would say. Wow. First I did the Discord adventure, now I do the YouTube adventure, and I think kind of next year proves to be something different again, automatically almost, which I don't like, but we'll see what it is. It's December, baby. So it will figure itself out, apparently. I don't know, man. I mean, the cards are set usually at some point. Everything is in place for the next year. People's wishes are set in motion. Or this is kind of how winter feels like, you know, it's a freezing effect. Because you're setting things, you're defining things, and then you're gonna get pulled into motion, pulled apart. It's such a weird effect of life, man, when you understand how deep it is. Going through Matrix, I almost like want just end my life at this point. I know too much. My brain should explode at this point. Please? Shouldn't that happen right now? Because I don't feel comfortable, right? I don't feel like I made enough connections that truly matter and truly understand who I am. Is that even possible anymore? What's the point? If people are not curious and they're not interesting. Because I feel like I'm an interesting person and I'm like, where's my match? Who's capable of doing what I'm doing? Obviously nobody. And it's almost like I do have to hospitalize myself because I went maybe a little bit too ahead. You know? I have to test myself. I have to accept my fate once in my lifetime because I didn't accept none of this shit. I'm better than other people and I'm doing my own thing. So obviously, I will obviously be better than other people. But there's one thing that's not obvious. And it's me beating up Minecraft. I think that makes people now very different and very much look at me differently, I think. Because if I actually beat Minecraft, that's a big oopsie. So I can't wait for that. Yeah, there's a bunch of balls to juggle, absolutely. And a lot of pieces of history to live and reorganize over and over again until it really fits a wonderful narrative and tells a nice story. So, story 2019, boys. If I had any better emoji for this one, I really want to appreciate the jewel that we got in, where all those pieces came together. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the one, boys. They came together and they played their roles perfectly, I think. And then the 2020 was when I was making YouTube videos. This, I don't know what this is, and this Why should I define it? You know, it might be a very nice trick. But this guy really fucking pissed me off by saying Year of Orange, woohoo. But the reality is, he is a fire person. And he jumped on board at the very specific time. That's also very scary. So I guess there are scary things in life. They're not necessarily patterns. They're just happenings, okay? Or it's just very hard to read patterns because they're made out of luck. But it's fun. It's part of the fun. So yeah. Who knows what this year is gonna bring, but that's it for today. And probably next day too. I'm exhausted so badly. I don't know if I'll wake up anytime soon. Fuck you guys. I needed this. I need this extra time. I'm sorry. Yeah, the story of Jewel. That's pretty cool.